Welcome back to your WCTV Boys Basketball Game of the Week. I'm Jacob Hammers here with Doug Capella, and we are at the Franklin Admirals Arena as they host the Nolensville Knights on this fine Thursday night.
Should be a good game. It's going to be tough to follow up the girls' performance from earlier in the evening. But two teams both sitting at 17-7, looking to make some waves and really, I think, get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, Franklin won the matchup the first time around by a score of 66-57. That was a great game. They're looking to keep that momentum going into a tough game against the Knights.
Kaiser moving it around, dishes outside. Admirals drive the lane. Buckets up and good. Hayden McClarty, senior, drops the first points of the night for the Admirals.
McClarty, the 6'4" man, 190 pounds. He is a big, physical guy for this Franklin team. He loves to get down in the paint and push his way through.
Good look inside, doesn't materialize in anything. McClarty again looking, bops it out to Kaiser. Kaiser drives, dishes outside back to McClarty, and McClarty drops another two. That's a quick four for the Admirals on the night.
Yeah, Marshall Freund, he's been really good so far this season, recently taking the starting role. His assist numbers are ridiculous, and he is so good at moving the ball around and facilitating this offense.
Correction, Kaiser is number 4, Marshall Freund, number 3.
Kaiser originally the starter in this offense. They've typically played with a Kaiser and Robinson backcourt. Not coming out with that look tonight. Jones getting the start along with Friend. Jones looking for a man.
McClarty thinks about it from the 3, decides better, pushes it back out. Friend looking. Back to Friend. Friend's going to drive, dishes it out. Friend from the arc, no good. Admiral's going to retain possession on the rebound.
Yeah, that was Carson Vaughn on the rebound. He is one of the most athletic players on the court tonight. Holds the school record for the long jump for the Franklin Admirals. He is so good and so versatile. As Tyler Roberts puts up a 3, no good.
Gets the rebound. Roberts gets a second chance, shoots, and it's good. Admirals open up a 7-0 lead here over the Knights, coming out hot, similar to the Lady Admirals when they started out hot.
Yeah, Nolensville looks like they're sleeping out there. They're not moving the ball well. Johnson doesn't look like he's thinking too much about his passes, and that's a timeout for Nolensville already. 7-0 for the Admirals so far.
You know, the first period belonged to the Lady Admirals, and the first period so far is belonging to the boys. 7 quick points, and really nothing close to looking like a scoring opportunity for the Knights. Just coming out a little bit shook and rattled. This just must be a tough place to play, Mr. Hammer.
Yeah, Franklin voted one of the best student sections in recent times, actually. Have been super strong at forcing a lot of other teams to really mess up just due to their pure noise. But right now, this Nolensville team is looking strictly at Chris Johnson to get all their points. They're going to need to use guys like B.J. Hall, Riley McKelvey, Brody Cooper. Those guys really need to step up. Coach Cadice is going to look to them a lot today. It's not just the Chris Johnson show.
And just like that inside to Johnson back out. Inside dish. Nice look there from Luke Carroll.
Yeah, Brody Cooper, one of the stronger players on this Knights team, played JV as a junior just last season, has become such a strong player for this offense and is really good at those backdoor cuts. It's something that this Knights team uses a lot. As that's a steal for Riley McKelvey. McKelvey goes up and gets the layup. Looked like he was going to dunk it. We did not get that luxury. The transfer from Centennial gets his first 2 points of the night.
Well, and just like that, the Knights pull back, one possession game, and they can score points in bunches. They have the capability to do that. Very athletic, front court, and you just saw that on that fast break with McKelvey. Drop 2, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, talked to Gedice this week. Talked his keys to winning this game was focusing on guard penetration. He needed his guards, B.J. Hall, Brody Cooper, Luke Carroll. He needed those guys to get penetration and be able to force this Franklin team into tough looks. As number 3, Marshall Freund for the Admirals gets an easy 2 points.
Friend challenging Johnson there on the take and was successful with the left hand. Shot is up by McKelvey, no good. Admirals wanted an offensive call on that drive, did not get it. Dish is outside, no good. Johnson on the rebound.
This Knights team on defense has been very sloppy. A lot of open looks for the Admirals, unfortunately for them, not hitting. But that keeps up. This is not going to be sustainable for this Knights defense.
Carroll, good look again, hits number 5, B.J. Hall, who drops the 2. 9-6 is your score in what's been a very, very fast-paced first quarter.
Hall still working through his return from injury. His first game back was that Nolensville Ravenwood game we called just a couple weeks ago.
Friend from 3, stops and pops. Friend is on fire. He is not a friend of the Knights, I can tell you right now. He's already got 7 points on the night.
Yeah, not starting this season as a starter, coming into that role, and it's become so strong. That's a steal for number 11, Conrad Jones for the Admirals, looking to get it probably back to front and let him take another 3.
Carroll backs down. Johnson looks for the block. Carroll gets the rebound. Surveys the court, looking, decides to go strong, dishes it out. 3 is up, 3 is no good. Rebound Admirals.
Yeah, and that last Admirals possession was a clear representation of what McClarty likes to do on this offense. He gets in the paint and he forces guys like Luke Carroll that are smaller than him to just get out of his way, and he gets easy layups and easy buckets doing that.
12-6 is your score in what has been a NASCAR racetrack first quarter. McKelvey looking, gets a quick double team, backs off.
McClarty, the 6'4" senior, guarded by Chris Johnson. Johnson's been a great defender so far this season, but has struggled on rebounding when he plays guys like McClarty that are just bigger and stronger in some aspects.
Knights tighten it up on defense. Roberts looks from the corner, no shot. McClarty's going to look to settle it down from the top.
One thing Gedice talked about a lot this week was the versatility that his team can have on defense. They're going to have to switch up a lot as McClarty gets a nice spin move and stolen by B.J. Hall.
McClarty had a good drive and it got pickpocketed right at the last second. Carroll picks up the loose change and is tripped, and there's a call on the floor.
B.J. Hall on that steal. He has been so impressive for this Knights team. He does such a great job at not necessarily being the biggest guy, but the most agile, and he works his way in there so well as Nick Lunn for the Admirals, the 6'7" junior, checks in.
So mass substitutions on both sides. Total of about 6 players swap out.
The Admirals doing something very different to how their girls team went, where their starters played almost the entire game. We saw how that caught up to them late.
Hall shoots a long 3, no good. Kaiser on the rebound, looking up court, see what he can do.
Robinson and Kaiser, one of the strongest backcourts in the county. Coach Tigert really likes them specifically because Robinson's left-handed and Kaiser's right-handed, and he's used that to help his versatility so much in the backcourt. He's been super excited about using both of these guys at the same time.
Big 6'7" Nick Lunn has checked into the game as well. Kaiser off the turnover, shoots the 3, no good. Robinson on the rebound, no good. Sloppy play on both ends of the court here. Lead still holds 12-6. Inside to Johnson. Johnson goes strong, fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
That's something Johnson does a lot. He gets a lot of looks at the free throw line. He does such a great job at drawing that foul. A lot of guys are slapping his forearms. But someone I want to highlight from this Nolensville team, Ryland McKelvey, the transfer from Centennial, has been so good this season from the three-point line as Johnson makes his first.
Cuts the lead to 5, does that. Johnson will look to shoot a second. Pretty loud here in the gymnasium of the Admirals. In and out goes the second one. Lead will hold at 5, 12-7.
This rotation looks very strategic from Tiger. It looks like he knows exactly what he is trying to do, and that's get rotation minutes from guys that have worked together a lot in their practices. And they had 3 days of practice versus Nolensville's only 2 after a game at Ravenwood.
Kaiser's going to draw, dishes it out. Mishandled. No shot. Back up top to Kaiser. 35 to play here in what has been a lightning fast first period.
Robinson's such a strong player for this Admirals team. The left-handedness of him is so helpful. Fans unhappy with the call, heard all around the gymnasium.
So it looks like the Knights with 18 just in change here in the first, looking maybe for the last shot to draw within a single possession. A lot of action, not a lot of scoring as the score holds 12-7.
Yeah, you assume McKelvey's going to get the last shot here. They like him from the three-point line, but a lot of the times they go for Johnson inside or Cooper from the outs.
It's a turnover, no shots.
Cooper intercepted his own man's pass. The ball was intended for Jordan Terrell of the Knights. Cooper puts his hand up, and that one does not get to Terrell.
So I didn't even catch my breath that first period. 12-7, really, really fast. And just sloppy play on both sides. Franklin came out super aggressive and quick, put up 7 points really fast, and then only had 5 for the rest of the period. And then it just a lot of turnovers and back and forth play on both sides.
Yeah, it really felt very similar to the Lady Admirals game we just saw. The Admirals took over quick, slowed down a little bit, kept control of the game, and let the Knights creep in late. Now, Chris Johnson, a player I want to look at for this Knights team. Obviously, he is the star player, committed to Columbia State for basketball now. But Coach Gadice has talked about him as one of the best team players you could have. In their win against a strong Brentwood team that's leading their district, he only had 4 points. A win tonight for the Knights and a Ravenwood loss tonight puts Nolensville atop the district. That would be super crucial for this Nolensville team that's kind of been on a rough stretch after starting 0-3 in district play.
Well, and then against Ravenwood just the other night, or last night rather, same story. Johnson was not the focal point, and the Knights came out and were able to rally as a team and defeat Ravenwood. And it wasn't a blowout, but it wasn't close. The game really wasn't in question the whole night.
Yeah, the last time these two teams played, Franklin took a 9-point win, shot 44% from the field. It was a really impressive night for Franklin. They're looking to repeat that again and to get the sweep over a strong Knights team.
Hall handles it up top, dishes it inside to Johnson. Johnson bodies down, gets the ball out to Hall again. Not a lot of lanes here for these Knights.
That foul there's on Conrad Jones. Conrad Jones is someone Tiger talked a lot about this week. He called him an elite defender and also a high-level shooter. He loves how Conrad Jones plays defense and how physical he is, even though he's not the tallest guy on the team.
McKelvey goes and shoots one, makes one, has another one. This could cut the lead to 1 possession. Currently 12-8 in favor of the Admirals. McKelvey hits a second, and now again a 1-possession game, 12-9.
This Franklin section doing everything they can to make him miss those shots, not working for them for the time being, but a lot of the time those student sections can really be influential late in the games.
Strong drive there by the Admirals, no luck. Ball does not fall.
And that's just Vaughn showing his athleticism there. He's so quick. And the way he moves through those defenders without them even noticing almost.
Dished out to Hall for the 3, in and out, no good. That would have tied the game. Admirals rebound and head down quickly. Stolen by Johnson. Johnson, quick dish and dunk. Beckett Gray puts the 2 in, 12-11.
Yeah, interesting choice to dunk that there. Didn't look like he was super confident doing it, but he got it in.
Hey, the ball went in and his hands touched the rim, so it counts.
I'm sure he would have been happier if he had a bigger crowd here. Not a ton of students from Nolensville here tonight.
In and out goes a 3 on the Admirals, but the Knights couldn't get control of it, and it's going to roll out of bounds.
Yeah, poor communication between Johnson and Hall there. Just could not pick which one was going to go for that ball and ended up losing it entirely. Not the smartest play we've seen so far.
Admirals hitting kind of a cold patch here from the floor and shooting. Air ball's a 3 right there. Another 3 goes up. That's in and out. Just ice cold here for the Admirals. Hall looking to make some noise. Could take the lead here on this possession. McKelvey, deep 3, shots up, swish. Good, up by 2, go the Knights. And what the Lady Knights took 4 quarters to do, the boys do it in 2, which is take a lead after going down big.
Yeah, McKelvey, such an influential player for this Knights team. Was at Centennial last year. Goodice really mentioned how McKelvey was hitting those kind of shots that we just saw on his team, and he didn't like that and got lucky enough to McKelvey came to the Knights as number 3 Marshall Freund, Kaiser is fouled and goes to the line.
Fun fact with Cole Kaiser, I coached him in 6th grade basketball at Grassland. Really good kid, great parents, great family, just all around. Hate to see him miss his first free throw there.
Yeah, the shortest guy on this Admirals team coming in at 5'10", 165, but he might be short, but he has a lot of heart. He plays with so much hustle, and Tiger has been so appreciative of him so far this season.
I can confidently say that Cole Kaiser owes none of his basketball ability to me.
Well, makes his second, gets his first points of the night.
McKelvey backs him down, drops 2, lead now 3 for the Knights. 16-13 here in the second. Steal by the Knights. Franklin just struggling to gain composure here after what was a dynamite first 5 or 6 minutes of the first period. Get bailed out there by a travel from the Knights.
Franklin really using a cushion they built early to try to keep this game close. Really can't do anything on offense right now. Just kind of hoping that the Knights can't do more.
Almost another turnover. Franklin just being really loose with the basketball. Another foul on 5 for the Knights. B.J. Hall is going to find himself in a bit of trouble here.
Hall still coming back from injury, still finding his composure that he had last season. He has been very strong from the perimeter so far this season, but he is still trying to find his own in the starting lineup after a tough injury earlier this year.
Admiral settling it down a little bit. Quick 3 for the Admirals, and it's good. That's going to tie it up. Finally, they went about 0 for 4 or 5 on the 3-point, and he knocks it down to tie it at 16.
Yeah, and that's Conrad Jones again. We talked about him earlier. His defense is so elite, but not only that, he is so good from the 3-point line. They love to use him on the perimeter. He's such a strong player for this Admirals team. He's becoming one of the favorites of the fans.
Johnson looking for some space, dishes it out to Carroll. Carroll gets it back inside to Johnson. Johnson's going to back down. Had a mismatch there, didn't take it. In and out goes the shot. I don't think Johnson knew he was being guarded by Cole Kaiser, giving up about 6 inches there.
Kaiser probably grateful that Johnson didn't go in there. That could have hurt.
Johnson, big block defensively there, sends the ball into a crowd of scared cheerleaders.
Chris Johnson, 17 points per game so far this season, 12 rebounds. Really just such a strong player, such a physical player for this Nolensville team, and that's why he's going to continue his basketball career at Columbia State next year.
Just over 4 to play here, tied up at 16. Both teams really just trying to find some identity here. as the half progresses. Turnover by the Admirals. McKelvey is going to drive all the way, gets blocked.
That wasn't the best shot selection from McKelvey, but he is so composed on those drives. You can see he doesn't look like he's nervous or forcing himself to go quicker. Tyler Roberts for three, no good. Rebound, Chris Johnson.
Well, and absolutely fearless, because under the rim was lurking big 6'7" Lund, but McKelvey still drove the lane, just got blocked. So the Admirals offensively, they're going to live and die, it seems, by the three-point shot. They've launched a number of them already, but they've only hit 2 or 3. Good pass there by Johnson. Finds number 2 for the Knights, Brody Cooper, who drops 2, and the Knights regain the lead here. Just over 3 minutes to go in the second period.
Yeah, Cooper's story so inspiring. A junior on JV just last season has now become a starter for a very strong 17-7 Knights team, as Lund has a little miscommunication and turns the ball over.
Well, I think he was looking for his player to break right, and he broke left, and he threw it right at the scorer's table. Easy turnover there for the betterment of the Knights offense here. They lead by 2, looking to go on a little bit of a run and stretch that lead if possible.
So 3 minutes remaining in this first half. Knights visiting the Admirals. Knights 18, Admirals 16. A deep three from McKelvey.
McKelvey just shot it from just about half court. Not sure why he put that up. He didn't need to, and it was an air ball, and a bad one at that. I think Dice is giving him a little pep talk there on the sideline as he goes to the bench saying, well, what were you doing?
Yeah, B.J. Hall checking in for McKelvey, a very similar player, a little smaller, but such a strong presence from the outside. They really cannot leave Hall open, or else that ball is 100% going in the net.
A little too much air under that shot, understandably, because it was trying to get over Johnson. Knights quickly on the rebound, down court. Quick shot from the paint, missed, gets his own rebound, does he? No good. Johnson outmanned underneath, 5-1 in the paint.
Johnson waiting for help to come tonight. Really can't get too much of it. A lot of easy misses.
Another three-pointer by Franklin. They're just not dropping.
Not a lot of offense so far in this game. 18-16, 2 minutes remaining as B.J. Hall drives to the basket and gets an easy 2 points to bring the lead to 4 for the Nolensville Knights.
Yeah, he caught the Admiral sleeping on there. He went with the left hand, took the lane wide open, and dropped an easy 2. Friend's going to reel from the 3. Didn't have his feet set, and that was ill-advised from the start. Bad shot there by Friend. Normally pretty hot out there. Another 3 launch, this time for the Knights.
Franklin again doing a mass substitution. 4 people at a time. Almost every time they're doing substitutions. Really an interesting strategy from Tiger.
And that's just a bad foul there by B.J. Hall. Tries to out-jump big 6'7" Lund and ends up landing on his back, and Lund draws the foul. And I believe that's Hall's 3rd.
Chris Johnson checking out for the first time tonight as McKelvey gets back in the game after a ill-timed deep 3. McClarty on Cooper. A mismatch for McClarty, looking for a shot. Powers through and gets the and 1. Hayden McClarty.
I was just going to say, that's a name we haven't called in a while, was McClarty. He was hot early on. I hadn't called his name in a while. He's back in and drops a quick 2 and goes to the line with the and 1 with a chance to draw it to 1 point.
Yeah, 6'4". He has a big frame, and he is so strong in the paint. And he really just kind of forced Brody Cooper to do whatever he wanted, and that makes it pretty easy.
Misses his 1, so the lead will remain 2 for the Knights, 20-18. Just over a minute left here in the second period. Again, what has been a very quick-moving game. Not a lot of penalties here on either side. Not a lot of free throws, but a lot of missed threes.
Yeah, B.J. Hall already has 2 fouls tonight. He's going to need to be watched closely as this game progresses. Beckett Gray looking for an open shot. Missed 2 mid-ranges earlier, trying to make up for that. Has Robinson guarding him. Ball stolen by McClarty. McClarty looking for an open shot. no good.
Great
Rebound,
defense
Carroll.
there by McKelvey.
And McKelvey's such a star player for this Knights team because sometimes he looks like he's got that nonchalant, kind of slow building game, but he puts a lot of effort in, and that's a great defensive play by McKelvey to make sure that McClarty can't get a free bucket on what looked like a easy transition.
Yeah, and you could tell the look on his face when he was chasing the play down, like, I'm going to sit and wait and see what I can do here. Didn't fall for the pump fake. Admirals drop 2, Carson Vaughn on the 2. 1 possession potentially left here in the second period. Knights are going to probably run this down to get the last shot before the half.
Yeah, you assume McKelvey's getting it. I know he took an ill-timed 3 earlier, but you hope that they'll give their confidence back to him.
Perfectly drawn up for the Knights. Gets it inside, and that's a 2-pointer. Ball hits the rafter, and the Knights are going to go in up by 2, 22-20. And what has been again, catch your breath, lightning quick first 2 periods.
Yeah,
and kind of what we thought it would be.
You wonder if it's going to end the same way as the last game we just saw, where it gets really hectic at the end. We both know this is going to be a fantastic game, and it already has been so far.
22-20 is your score. It is the halftime. I'm Doug Capella with Jacob Hammer. We're going to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few.
Welcome back to your WCTV game of the week. The Nolensville Knights at the Franklin Admirals. I am Jacob Hammers with Doug Capella, and this has been an incredible game so far. The Knights with a 2-point lead, 22-20.
Yeah, so we're going to see what the locker room conversations were. Both sides definitely have room to improve. Lots of turnovers and some sloppy play. Admirals living and dying by the 3, and they just couldn't get a good bit of them to sink, and it allowed the Knights to come back and actually take the lead in the second period.
Yeah, Franklin needs to start using the size of Hayden McClarty, the 6'4" senior, as Carson Vaughn puts a nice post hook in for an easy 2 points.
Yeah, and I think that's really what they're going to have to look to do, get inside the paint a little bit and not force 3-pointers to try to outshoot Nolensville. Oh, just like that, Carroll drives the lane, drops 2 and draws the foul. Carroll, more of a perimeter guy, has a good touch on the 3 and an assist man. Decides he liked what he saw and drove the lane and draw the foul.
Yeah, Nolensville trying to keep their lead, want to keep it pushing and get a nice cushion going into the fourth quarter.
So funny, Carroll misses that free throw. It's not funny that he missed it, but saw his dad, who's the head coach of Lipscomb University's men's basketball team. And I was like, hey, I hear they got a pretty good sophomore. And he says, yeah, if he could only hit his free throws. Spoken like a true coach.
Well, free throws have become a big part of the game. We've seen a couple misses so far tonight, and it's really just a loss on free points as Robinson misses an easy floater, wide open. Carroll speeding down the court.
Robinson had what he wanted, did the spin move, got the defender off his feet, and then shot almost an air ball. McKelvey drives, and he gets 2, so they're just attacking the paint here on both sides of the court. You like to see it.
Yeah, Nolensville, this is not necessarily what they did last time they played this Franklin team, losing by 9 in their last matchup. They were more from the perimeter, but now they are pushing the paint, and they're staying physical against a team that already is pretty physical.
Robinson challenges again, dishes it out.
McClarty not getting the shot to go. I think the threat of Johnson there as McKelvey gets a wide open 3, no good, rebounded by Kaiser. Kaiser pushing up the court looking for an open man.
McKelvey took his time there, set his feet, and they let him shoot. Still couldn't get the 3 to go. 26-22 is your third period score. Knights add 2 to what was their halftime lead.
Franklin not coming out with their starting lineup from the night, putting in Kaiser and Robinson in. Not exactly what we saw to start the game, but this is what we've seen a lot this season. We've seen Kaiser and Robinson in the backcourt using that dual-handed versatility.
Robinson drives, gets the 2. Got to give Robinson the award for the best hair out here on the court tonight.
Hall drives again, no good. Rebound Johnson. Johnson fouled on the shot. He'll get 2 free throws now.
Yeah, tied up and fouled there. Lucky it didn't go in for the Admirals because it was close, and that could have been an and one conversion. He'll just shoot two here from the line.
Hall for the Knights, already 2 fouls so far. Looking to avoid fouling out tonight, so it's going to be, 3 fouls. He's going to have to be very careful in this second half.
Johnson sinks his first one, pushes the lead to 3. Kaiser comes up court.
Johnson, such a strong player for this Knights team. 17 points per game, over 12 rebounds per game, has been so impressive and is now continuing his basketball career at Columbia State as he misses his second. Rebound, McKelvey. McKelvey looking for a shot, and he drops it.
McKelvey looking for a foul there, nothing called. Ball rolls off of his foot or knee, it looked like, and so Admirals will take possession. Knights will hold on to the 3-point lead.
Knights 3-3 in the district so far, looking to get above 500 in the district. Have had a tough season to start their district play.
Robinson comfortable shooting, but the shots aren't falling.
Cooper, one of the bigger players on this Knights team, setting a screen. McKelvey driving. McKelvey looking for a spin move shot. No good. Rebound, Robinson. Robinson now looking for a man.
Yeah, Johnson's got to get strong underneath. He got boxed straight out on that. He could have had a chance for the rebound. 3 goes up and it's good.
McClarty, we haven't mentioned his name a lot since that's a hot start to the first quarter. McClarty, not typically a 3-point guy, but that one goes in, and that's kind of what Franklin needed after a couple misses from Robinson and a couple other guys.
Carroll dishes to Johnson. Johnson backs McClarty down with the left in and good. Drops 2. And there's a whistle. Timeout Nolensville. Gadice wants to talk to his players. Kind of interesting there to call a timeout right after they drop a bucket.
Yeah, Johnson's only 4 points tonight. He's a guy that's known for scoring. He is a pure scorer, averaging 17 points per game. Only 4. The leading scorer for the Admirals so far, Hayden McClarty, after a strong start to the first quarter. Nolensville 29, Franklin 27. 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Last time these two teams played, Nolensville shooting 53% from the field, only 33% from the 3-point line, and we're seeing a little consistency on that. Not a lot of 3-pointers dropping for either team tonight.
Yeah, and the big difference there is volume. Franklin, in that second period particularly, launched a lot of 3-pointers as a mainstay of their offense, and they just couldn't get them to fall. They've had some better luck here in this period, but Nolensville has been more of driving the lane and getting your inside points, and that's been the difference tonight up to this point.
Yeah, the defense of Franklin has done a good job holding their guards, the guards of Nolensville, to not a ton of points, but there's not much they can do when the front court's not doing too much.
Franklin drops a floater, but it's an air ball. Trying to move the ball around and reestablish some offense here. Kaiser at the top, looking for something on the inside, decides not, dishes it out. Quick turnover there. McKelvey looks like he's going to try to push it, gets cut off. Good defense there by the Admirals to stop the fast break. Pushes out to Carroll. Carroll's going to drive, gets it out to McKelvey. McKelvey thinks about it, decides no, gets it to Hall at the top.
McKelvey, a guy who struggles sometimes with shot selection. He'll take a lot of threes. We saw that really deep one earlier as Johnson gets a putback to go. 2 more points for him. He's up to 6 on the night.
Johnson drops the stat patter. He missed his first shot, tipped it in for the rebound, got the second shot to fall. That's going to push the lead to 4.
Talking to Franklin's head coach, Coach Tigert, he said the keys to winning this game are going to be contesting shots and finishing plays, as the 3 does not go for Franklin. McClarty with the putback, no good again, and he gets it. McClarty up to 11 points on the night, the leading scorer for the Admirals.
Knights still hold a 2-point lead. Hall looking to create some space with Robinson, gets around him, drives the lane, drops the basket, no good. Johnson gets the tip back in. He's all of a sudden heating up. Look out.
Yeah, right there you see another offensive rebound for the Knights. Something Coach Tigert talked a lot about this week was a focus on defensive rebounding. Their Wednesday practice is always a heavy defense practice, and that's exactly what they looked at just yesterday. not doing too well so far as Robinson goes for another mid-range that finally drops.
He got the shooter's touch there, but he was guarded close by Carroll. Carroll in his face doesn't go for the pump, but Robinson gets the ball to drop.
Robinson's been looking for that one to drop after a couple misses so far, and he finally gets it. He's up to 3 on the night.
Inside feed to Johnson. Johnson again with the left. Bounce, good. Again, he's got 6 points in the last 45 seconds. Johnson on fire, keeping the Knights at their 4-point lead.
Yeah, and this is what we expected in the first half as Kaiser misses a wide open layup, put back by McClarty, gets him up to 13 points, and McClarty has been so strong for this Franklin team to start the second half.
Yeah, for every bucket Johnson drops, McClarty's on the other end dropping a bucket, keeping neck and neck, and the lead at 2.
I'd like to see more production from Brody Cooper tonight. Didn't see a ton in that last game against Ravenwood, hoping for him to come back and become a presence on the offense.
Carroll with the hard foul, guarding his man. Number 20 for the Admirals, Carson Vaughn, turns around, and Carroll plows right into him and draws the easy foul.
You see Hall and McKelvey subbing out for the Knights. McClarty finally coming off the court for the Admirals. I bet you Gadice is breathing a sigh of relief after that. Minute and 59 remaining here in this third quarter. Nolensville 35, Admirals 33. Franklin looking to make a comeback on their home court with a large crowd here trying to push the momentum towards the Admirals.
So a lot of back and forth, a lot of shift, but we still have the same lead that we did at the half, which is 2. And the story of the third period's been the battle of the big men. McClarty and Johnson trading buckets down court. We'll see if that continues into the fourth quarter. I hope it does because it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, it's a bucket-for-bucket transaction right now. Realistically, every time Johnson's hitting one, McClarty comes right back, finds a mismatch, and gets one in.
Well, we're going to have to pause on the McClarty-Johnson bucket-to-bucket because Lund checks in for McClarty. Johnson remains in.
Vaughn running the point right now. One of the more athletic players on the court. Stated earlier, he's the long jump record holder for Franklin.
Run out in space, not really a danger to shoot the 3. Wisely gets it out to Kaiser. Kaiser kind of with a lazy drop, almost turns it over. Lund with the left, can't get it to fall. Terrell gets it over to Carroll.
Yeah, and 2 of the main guys from Nolensville not on the court right now, B.J. Hall and McKelvey. Beckett Gray looking for Johnson. Johnson trying to back down the 6'7" Nick Lund, not working. But Brody Cooper drives in and gets a free 2 points.
Yeah,
and
Johnson's on fire, and he's drawing all the attention down low, and that left Cooper wide open on the left side of the paint for an easy 2 points. And that's going to help. If Johnson can stay hot, that's definitely going to help. Easy foul there on Kaiser. He's going to go to the line and shoot 2. Terrell in, giving some breathing room to McKelvey and Hall.
You wonder if Tiger went into that last timeout telling his team that we cannot let Johnson keep this production. Let's make the other guys make their shots.
Kaiser drops his first, pulls the Admirals to within 2. And just like that, McKelvey and Hall check back in. They're going with a smaller look because Terrell's going to stay in.
Yeah, we're going to see McClarty back in the game. We assume he'll have a ton of production after checking back in with 51.6 remaining in this third quarter. Last time these two played, Franklin made 8 threes total, 4 of those coming just in the fourth quarter. So this Franklin team likes to show that they are good in the clutch, and I think we're going to see some clutch time buckets from both teams tonight.
So Kaiser hits his 2, and then he checks out in favor of Robinson. Hall working the perimeter here, looking. They're probably trying to keep one possession here. So they're going to keep some keep away here until they can get that clock down and look for the last shot, just like they did at the halftime, sinking it and going up by 2.
Franklin not playing super aggressive. They're not very handsy, not really looking for a steal, just looking to make sure that Nolensville does not get this last bucket, and the lead stays at 2 from halftime to the end of the third.
McKelvey's going to shoot the final shot. In and out it goes. Had an opportunity for a second chance bucket. Both fall short. And so just like half, at the end of the third, the Knights hold on to that 2-point lead. Should be a fun fourth period here.
Yeah, this has been an incredible offensive and defensive game. That first half was focused more towards defense. Only 22 points for Nolensville, 20 for Franklin. Really a strong defensive-minded first half. And then we open the third quarter, and apparently everyone can't stop scoring. Johnson gets hot. McClarty gets hot. They're both hitting every shot in the paint. It has been such a great game to watch, and I think it's going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Gedice wants to do here in the fourth, and to see what the Admirals and what they think of. It looks like the Admirals have somewhat gone away from the three, which was good because McClarty was strong on the inside. I think they only shot 2 threes in that third period, and they made one of them.
Yeah, something that the Knights have done really well tonight is Coach Gedice had a heavy focus on making sure that the Admirals guards can't penetrate the paint and get easy drives in. I think they've done a great job at limiting those. We've also seen a less guard-heavy lineup from the Admirals. They've had a bigger lineup. We haven't seen Robinson a ton. We haven't seen Kaiser as much as we saw Friend in that first half. So they're really picking and choosing what they're limiting, and that's leading to a lot of physical paint battles.
Which is funny because it was the exact opposite for the Knights. They did go with a guard-heavy look for a little bit, but it looks like they're going back with their close to their starting rotation here.
Eight minutes remaining in this game of the week as Nolensville tries to hold on to their 2-point lead on the road.
McClarty going strong. He's going to drop the 2, and that's going to tie it up here in the opening minute of the fourth period. 37-37 is your score.
McClarty up to 15 points on the night. He is such a physical presence down low. 6'4", 190 pounds. He does such a great job at making sure that no one on this Nolensville team can back him down.
Trying to create some room as McKelvey, and he can't. Robinson on him tight. Knight's a little sloppy here. You don't want Johnson at the top of the paint trying to create space.
This Franklin student section getting very loud, maybe causing miscommunication. There's a lot of momentum in this building right now.
Shot doesn't fall for Hall. Robinson on the rebound, pushing the court. Gets it out to the wing. Strong drive for McKelvey, no good. McClarty, no good. Ball's going to go to the other side of the court where Admirals recover it.
Really great defense by Hall there. What a mismatch that McClarty had. Hall played so physical and ended up getting a hand on the ball. Really impressive from the smaller guard for the Knights team.
The floor looks slightly tilted to the Admirals so far in this fourth period. A little more under control and a little more composed. Knights all over the place, trying to settle down the defense. Carson Vaughn on the drive, no good. Johnson grabs the rebound. Knights looking to settle down and retake the lead here on the possession.
McKelvey, such an underrated player for this Knights team. His defense is so strong as Hall takes a 3, no good.
In and out. Had a push there on Johnson, not called. Cooper couldn't get the easy layup to fall, and the rim is just frozen shut.
Yeah, and I can't guarantee you that Johnson's super happy. He doesn't have much help as Carson Vaughn gets 2, and the Admirals take the lead back.
Admirals regain the lead for the first time in some time, 39-37.
Nolensville looking sloppy on offense. Their defense has been holding up all right, but if you can't have any offense, they're not going to be able to stop any Franklin possessions.
Well, I guess if you're going to be cold in the fourth quarter, I'd rather you be cold in the first half than in the second half of the quarter. And so just like that, Johnson answers back, ties it up, drops another 2. 39-39 is your score.
Yeah, Doug, we both know what can happen in the end of a fourth quarter, no matter what team it is. We all know that both teams will turn it up a notch, and we know that the Knights will do that.
Robinson with a long three from the wing drops it. Biggest lead for the Admirals in quite some time is 3, 42-39.
Nolensville doing anything they can to get rid of this momentum. They cannot let Franklin get hot, and that's what we saw in the last matchup.
Hall there about a step away from the and one, calls on the floor. Score will remain 42-39.
Yeah, and this was the story of the last matchup. 4 threes made in the fourth quarter alone for the Admirals. If they can keep this production, the Knights are going to have a really hard time keeping up with just 2s.
Carroll checks back in for the Knights. He inbounds it to McKelvey. McKelvey's going to take it up, challenges Robinson, but Robinson has been on him like glue in this fourth period. Can't get the fall to shot, and Robinson gets the rebound. Quick basket turnaround there for the Admirals. Conrad Jones pushes the lead to 5.
Yeah, he was all alone there in the paint.
You just really feel the court shifting to the Admirals. Student section's coming alive here. Hall's going to launch a 3, doesn't fall. Big tip in by Johnson, 41-44. I think the Knights, that was huge. They were in danger of really letting this one slip away, and Johnson clutch drops the 2 off the offensive rebound.
And what can Johnson not do? He is this Nolensville team, it feels like right now. I mean, I haven't seen production from really any other players. I was kind of hoping McKelvey would step it up in this fourth quarter. Haven't seen a ton from him so far. Hall missing a couple threes. It really feels like Johnson is doing it all, and he's capable of that.
Well, they're going to need him. Well, he's going to carry them for a little bit, and that's what they need because their shooting has gone ice cold in this fourth period. They have not had anything hit from outside, and Johnson's just been the strong body presence inside. And so he's got to do it until that shooting heats up for the Knights if they're going to want to come back and retake the lead.
Yeah, both teams struggling from the perimeter so far. Shockingly, Nolensville's a lot of perimeter guys that they focus on hitting those threes. Brody Cooper being one of those. McKelvey, Hall, even Terrell. A lot of guys that they expect a lot of perimeter production from that they're not getting for Franklin, Kaiser, Robinson. Both guys that are taking shots, but they're not hitting every time. Really not a ton of offensive production tonight.
Well, and I will say, for all of the commotion in the crowd, Nolensville does not look rattled. They look composed, they look calm, they've been here before. And so we'll see if the Knights can get their defense on track and their offense scoring. Robinson wide open look, and he sinks it. Robinson's quietly heating up.
Yeah, 9 points for Robinson now after 2 pretty bad misses to start the second half. He's kind of coming alive, and he's been really productive for this Franklin team come late in the fourth quarter.
Cooper, strong move inside, and he gets the basket. He needed that one too because he went a little bit cold. 46-43 is your score, just over 3 minutes to play.
Yeah, that timeout helped out Brody Cooper. He was struggling, missed 2 wide open layups before that timeout, came back and hits a strong little hook shot to put the lead down to 3.
Foul there on Carroll. I believe that's his third. Second, correction.
This is a reverse story of what we saw in the ladies game earlier. We saw Nolensville getting the lead late with 3 minutes remaining in that girls game. Franklin now getting a late lead after Nolensville's kind of been dominating, just barely ahead.
All of a sudden, quick whistles here on the officials. Didn't call much the whole game, and now they're really looking to keep the game cool and calm. Not letting much go on right now.
Nolensville getting a little handsy. I'm not too sure why. It doesn't really benefit them to let Franklin get in the bonus in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, plenty of time left. I mean, 3 minutes is an eternity. I think this is intentional on Gadice because they inbounds and he fouled immediately, so I'm not really sure what the strategy is here.
It looks like we have a hack-a-shack sort of situation. I mean, I guess they don't want 3-pointers for Franklin going in. This is an interesting move by Gadice, not something we see super often. Don't want Johnson to get the fouls, it looks like. They're going to let number 20 on the Knights take those.
I guess Gadice has Googled the free throwing percentage here of the Admirals, and because that's 3 quick fouls in just under 30 seconds.
Yeah, in the last matchup, the Admirals shot 76% from the free throw line to the Knights 75. Not too sure what this strategy is, but we'll see if it plays out.
Well, and they're not fouling now, so they just gave up 3 quick fouls, I guess for no reason. Vaughn hits the turnaround jumper. Lead back to 5. Interesting 45 seconds there for the Knights. Huge, huge 3 by number 2 for the Knights, Cooper. That's going to bring it within 2.
Yeah, and he looked uncomfortable taking that shot. I'm really surprised it went in. He did not look confident, but cuts the lead down to 2, and Cooper's now been such a strong force for this Nolensville team. Cooper, a guy that was on JV just last year as a junior, has become so strong.
So Kaiser's going to go to the line, makes his first. 3-point lead now for the Admirals, but at Cooper, and going back to your point, that was the least confident three-pointer I've seen shot in a while, but swished in. Kaiser looking to make it 4, in and out, so still a 1-possession game here, 2.5 left. But the Knights are in danger of, well, they're in the bonus now at this point, and I'm just not sure of what that strategy was.
Yeah, it seems like they didn't want to have to foul to get to the bonus later if it comes down to that, but an interesting strategy to try to build momentum back from a team that kind of lost it.
Another 3 up and out. McKelvey on the rebound. Another quick whistle here. The officials are really clamping down on the calls.
Yeah, really surprising call there, especially with McKelvey getting a pretty easy basket right after. Don't know if I saw the contact he did there, but trust his judgment.
Well, and I think McKelvey would have rather have had the basket. Out for 3. Shot is up, an air ball. McKelvey has been ice cold from the 3-point line. It's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to the Admirals.
Yeah, bad shot there. I mean, it was wide open. Good shot selection, just simply is not dropping for the Knights right now. Really can't get any momentum going. They're doing everything they can to creep back in this game, and it's not working.
Well, and McKelvey just looks uncomfortable. He's been ice cold, hasn't hit a shot, and he just really does look uncomfortable. And that was an ugly shot, didn't go in. Still a 1-possession game. I mean, it's the Knights are by far not out of this.
Yeah, I think sometimes McKelvey forgets how strong he is. He is a very physical and strong player, and sometimes he just kind of forgets he has that and starts missing shots that he should be making.
So the Admirals now employ the old rope-a-dope where they're going to pass the ball around and burn clock. Johnson is forced to foul there. Gets foul on McClarty. McClarty's going to shoot 2. Well, in this, unfortunately, Jake, it may be the longest minute and 28 seconds of the night here because they're already in the bonus, and I think we're going to look to foul. McClarty hits his first.
Yeah, something to note, Brody Cooper looks like he got poked in the eye a couple possessions ago. He's been looking to see if he can see out of it right now. Looks a little swollen from up here, but that's something to keep an eye on, especially as this game gets late and they keep him in.
So McClarty drops both, pushes it to a 5-point lead. 1.5 minutes left to go here in the game. Knights need a quick score here. Cooper on the inside, can't get the teardrop to go in. Johnson on the foul.
If these go in for Robinson, this game feels like it's nearing an end very soon. 7-point deficit is not what the Knights would want to see, hoping Robinson misses both of these. A big 3 is needed for the Knights. You wonder if they're going to go towards McKelvey, who's been their guy all season, or if they're going to try to trust B.J. Hall or Beckett Gray from the perimeter.
So Robinson shooting 2. First one's up and good. That's going to push it to 6. Yeah, another point here makes it 3 possessions, and that's just going to be a tough hill to climb, especially because the field goal shooting for the Knights in the second half has not been good. He makes the second, so 53-46 is your score, 7 points. Knights need some points in a hurry here. Hall's going to look, check Robinson on the inside, drives, gets the shot, and one. Huge play there. Could drop it to a 4-point lead here if he makes his free throw. That's about the best case scenario for that possession.
Yeah, the Knights desperately needed a little bit of momentum, a little something to keep them in this game, and that's exactly what that was. Hall needs to make this free throw to keep their momentum going.
Misses it. Admirals rebound.
5-point game, 52 seconds remaining. Knights losing hope, becoming desperate. It's a foul, or sorry, timeout for the Admirals.
Well, and they got it to Kaiser, and it's not the kid you want to foul because he's probably going to make both of his. So 4 points, 49 seconds. That's what stands in the way of a Knights victory here.
Yeah, Franklin looking like they're going to sweep the Nolensville Knights. An impressive feat considering the Knights have been so strong this season. Both teams 17-7 so far. The Knights starting 0-3 in district play this season, getting back up to 3-3. And now the Admirals looking like they're going to get a nice, clean sweep. Hayden McClarty, kind of the star of the game so far tonight for the Admirals. He's been such a crucial player. 17 points so far tonight. So dominant in the paint, the way he's had so many baseline drives, he's had so many spin moves that he's used as post hooks. It's been so impressive. Luke Carroll, a guy he's really targeting tonight, 6'4", 190 is McClarty. He's been so strong. He's really imposed his will upon this Knights team.
Timeout's up. Admirals possession. Then Knights need a turnover like I need $1 million. We'll see if they can get it here on the inbounds. They don't. It goes right to Kaiser, and he's fouled immediately by McKelvey. He will go to the line and shoot 2. The important thing is it's a 5-point game. So if Kaiser hits both of these, it's back to a 3-possession game with 46 seconds to go.
Yeah, Nolensville doing anything they can in their heads to hope that he misses. As the first one drops for Kaiser, a 6-point game now. Admirals 54, Knights 48, 46.6 remaining. The Admirals in the bonus. Not looking great if you're a Knights fan.
Yeah, and Kaiser's a cool customer here. He doesn't look rattled by this whatsoever. Second one's up and good. So back 7-point lead. They're going to have to push the floor here and get some quick points. Back to McKelvey. McKelvey drives, loses the grip on the ball.
The Knights surprisingly going for 2 still. 33.7 remaining, 7 points down. I think a 3 is what they're going to need. I don't think they can get in this game by going for 2s. And look, if Carroll had made that shot, gotten the N1, maybe it's a different story. But for right now, that's what I believe.
Yeah, Carroll had a nice drive there. Sinks his first. That's going to cut it to 6. They're going to have to force a turnover on the inbounds. They can't just simply keep fouling. There's just not enough time left.
Johnson doing everything he could in this game. 14 points, doing anything he could to try to keep the Knights in it. And after keeping the lead for a majority of the game, the Admirals have good hope of taking this one home. 30.7 remaining on the clock. Admirals 55, Knights 49. Admirals going to the line to take 2 more.
Well, and Carroll only hit 1 of 2 there, and so this could push it to an 8-point because what the Admirals are doing is hitting all of their free throws.
McClarty, clearly the star player from tonight's victory for the Admirals, but an unsung hero is Colin Robinson for sure. Came in the game, started a little ice cold, heated up as time went on. That ended up going for his 13th point here if he makes this second one. Just really fantastic from the mid-range. Forced his will upon a lot of these defenders.
Makes both. That's going to push it to 8.
Nolensville getting desperate, looking for anything they can just to try to get some points on the board. Still going for twos as McKelvey drops one in.
Well, and they're going to give that up all day. They're going to give up the lane as long as they don't foul.
Yeah, interesting decision by Coach Gedice to go for those all those fouls earlier, kind of coming back to get them here. Down 6, 21.2 remaining. The Knights starting to lose hope and get desperate. Admirals fans are thrilled, and the section has gotten louder and louder as this fourth quarter has progressed.
Yeah, you mentioned it. We got to go back to there was a span of about a minute 15 where the Knights committed 4 fouls, and 3 of them looked intentional. And I really wasn't sure what the strategy was there, because it's a different ball game at the end of this fourth quarter if they're not going to the line every time to shoot. And they've hit just about every one of their free throws, and that's been the difference because the Knights just haven't been able to gain any ground here in the waning moments of this period.
Yeah, I'd love to hear Gedice's reasoning on that really confusing decision to me. Kind of shocking to see him almost give up the game in a sense. Obviously, the Knights still pushing to see whatever they can do, but it's going to be Admirals ball, 21.2 remaining, a 6-point lead. Not looking great if you're a Knights fan.
Well, and if you are a lip reader, Gedice just said we're shooting threes. And so it looks like after they commit the foul here and send them to the line, it's going to be a quick up-court run, and then they're going to start shooting threes.
Yeah, you kind of wish they'd been taking threes beforehand, but for the time being, I guess they'll take what they can. Well, that's a pretty aggressive foul there from Ryland McKelvey.
Admiral's looking for the tech. It's not going to be a technical. He didn't throw him to the ground, but he did grab him.
Nolensville just looking extremely desperate, really not surprised by what's happening right now. But this game is as good as over for the time being.
Vaughn misses his first one. Still a 2 possession. If he misses the second, there's a glimmer of hope, but the Knights will have to rebound and get the 3. Misses his second, so there is some hope here. McKelvey shoots an air ball. He has just been ice cold this game.
Yeah, not too much he could have done there. Coach is yelling to shoot. He's got a man in his face, looking for anything they can as this Knights team gets more and more desperate. 11 seconds remaining. Admirals 57, Knights 51. Admirals looking for the sweep on the Knights after a big 9-point victory last time out. Admirals, strong performance from McClarty, strong performance from Robinson as Vaughn goes to take 2 more, and he sinks the first one.
Well, and that last possession was everything that the Knights needed to happen. Vaughn missed both free throws. Knights get the rebound, and then they just couldn't get anything going on offense.
Yeah, talking to Coach Tigert earlier this week, he talked about how his team has a more methodical approach coming into games like this. It's less shots, but it's better selection, and I think they really focused on that tonight. McClarty was only taking shots that he had open after backing down mismatches. It was really impressive to see this Franklin team play so methodically and not just chuck up shots, which they kind of did in that second quarter with a lot of those threes that they missed.
Yeah, just unfortunate for the Knights because they had a chance to sit atop first place in the region and just couldn't close the game. And it's such an interesting Knights squad because they can beat the best teams in the county and then at the same time really blow some games that they probably should win.
Yeah, the Admirals typically play the drive and kick style of play. They look to drive in and get free threes that way. But Nolensville didn't let them kick, but they let them drive in. I mean, Hayden McClarty had so many wide open lanes to the basket. He didn't have to work too hard for a majority of his buckets. And I think that's where Nolensville was at fault today. They didn't play as physical as Franklin. They didn't look like they wanted it as bad as Franklin.
So the lead is 7. Vaughn's back at the line. 11 seconds here left in the ball game. Vaughn sinks the shot. Lead is 8. Really just not a whole lot here that the Knights are going to be able to do. Under 10 seconds to play. We're just passing it back and forth now, not really sure what's happening. And that's the ball game. 2 missed shots. Your final here, kind of flip-flop. Admirals pull away in the fourth quarter of the boys' game, and the girls for the Knights pulled away in the second half in their game, and so we split. Admirals take one, Knights take one. I'm Doug Capella with Jacob Hammer. Final score, 59-51, your WCTV Games of the Week. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back next week.